Hello everybody, it's Bourbon Bill, and tonight, a very special episode. We're diving into my top 10-ish bourbons I'm on the lookout for, and you should be too, in 2023. So listen, this list is stuff that I really want. Of course, it goes without saying, if I get selected for a BTAC or like a Old Forester birthday bourbon, obviously I want one of those. Or like a President's Choice, but am I going to likely get them? No. So why set myself up for disappointment so early in the year? So these are bottles that I may see, more likely than not, we'll probably get most of these and review them on this channel. So this is my list of stuff that I'm hunting for right now. And I'll put pictures up. I do have kind of similar bottles, so we'll go over them as well. First up, from the Red Wax Makers, Maker's Mark Wood Finishing Series 2023. This is 2022's. This was a BRTO2, but I'm looking for the BEP, the BEP. Barrel Entry Proof is what that sucker stands for. That's the 2023 wood finishing release for Makers. Been hearing good things. I think it's kind of dropping now. So this is being filmed here in like mid-April. It's dropping in certain states, not in PA yet that I know of as of the time of this filming, but certain people have gotten a hold of this, and some of the initial reviews are pretty good. Kind of the first one's from Makers. Now, the second one, also from Makers. So, Makers, for once, for God's sake, they've listened. Okay, they have listened to many a YouTuber, including myself, has said, Makers, why don't you make an age-dated product? And by gosh, they're doing it. They're releasing cellar-aged Maker's Mark, which is a blend of 11 and 12-year-old Maker's Mark. So their normal stuff's around 6 years, double the age. It's coming in at like 90-some proof. I'll put a picture of it up on the screen. I truly cannot wait for this. I've always wanted a Makers at age, and I think it's going to be phenomenal. And it's going to put them Weller 12 fanboys to shame, most likely. Most likely. All right, so that's all I'm looking forward to for Makers this year, unless they got some other, surprises hidden up their sleeve. Number 3 is going to be the next iteration of this bad boy. There you have it. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, the darling of the $64.99 a bottle community here in PA. 12-year-old, non-chill filtered. And I gotta say, you can watch my review of A123. I'll link it above. Off to a killer start. This is the best one they've done since 2020. A123. So I hope they just continue that trajectory with B523 and C923 this year. So definitely looking forward to them. They're usually pretty findable in PA, but we don't always get them sooner, as soon as everybody else. But May's coming up here. It's gonna be May. So you should be on the lookout for that if you're in one of those states that gets it first. All right. Everything else from Heaven Hill is coming out this year. Probably gonna be too hard to get a hold of. But now let's shift to something real delicious. Peerless Double Oak Rye. That's right. I said rye. So you've seen my review. If not, I'll link it above, of the Peerless Double Oak Bourbon. This is currently my favorite double oaked product on the market. And they kind of released the bourbon widespread last year in 2022. And before that, you could get it at the distillery. Rumor has it this year in 2023, they're releasing the Double Oak Rye a little more widespread than in previous years. So I think it's kind of still distillery only, but I'm hearing this year's the year that's going nationwide. I had a sample of that in my advent calendar, blew me away. So looking forward to picking up one of the Double Oak Ryes from Peerless. And also, sweet bottle. I love these bottles. A little barrel shape. Number 5 on the list is what's in my glass really tonight. And you might say, well, if it's in your glass, how's that number 5? Number 5 is any Sagamore Spirit special release. So, exclamation point. I don't know what they're coming out with this year. I've already picked up their 2023 release of the 8-year, but they'll do more towards the end of the year. This one's a rum Agrigold distillery exclusive. They'll release more distillery exclusives. I think they're doing like a lot of beer finishes, which isn't my thing, but for a lot of people it is. So keep an eye out for what Sagamore's doing. They're doing a lot of good things. They're going to have their bib this year. So really, I'm just looking for another Sagamore rye to put into the stable. Number 6. The follow-up to this bad Mama Jama. Woodford Batch Proof 2023 release. I don't think it's even been talked about, but they're going to have one. This 118.4 proof bugger from 2022 was one of my favorites of all time. Big hit with most of the community. They knocked this one out of the park. This is not my first bottle, by the way. We have a few of these stored away, and I'll try like this. Just a delicious blend of oak and fruits, and really your only chance to try Woodford at a higher proof. So I'm definitely going to be looking forward to the release in 2023. Number 7 is whatever Calumet Farms is doing for 2023. Okay, so I like the Sam Houston 15 in 2021 over the Calumet 15, but Calumet 16 from 2022 was a hitter. What are they doing this year? Calumet 17? I'm here for it. Whatever that release is, I'm looking for it this year. I really am. It's Barton juice, by the way, but real good stuff. Number 8. Hailing from my favorite distillery. I'm looking for Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Rye. That's right. Jack Daniel's, not the special release from 2020. Jack Daniel's has released a shelf version, single barrel proof rye. It has a gold label, just like the bourbon, but up here is green and it says rye down here, like in a green letter. So that is out, and I think it's going to go nationwide. I don't know what the price is. Probably, these are like $66, $69. So I'm sure it's around $70 hair, somewhere in there, and going to be a steal. For those, I don't have one of the 2020 special release Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Ryes, but for those that do, it'd be a very interesting comparison to what the shelf rye brings to the table from Jack Daniel's at barrel strength compared to that. So I cannot wait to snag one of them bad boys. Now listen, the rest of these are also from my favorite distillery. One of my favorite bottles of all time, Jack Daniel's 10-year. I had to stop myself from just downing the rest of this. I really like this. This is batch 1, by the way, but I'm talking about Jack Daniel's 10-year batch 2 and the 12-year have dropped. So that's 9 and 10 now. We're up to 10. We have our 10 now. I think they're going to go fast. I think people are finally catching on. But this one wasn't. I really enjoyed this one. Some people were like, I don't know. I don't think it's worth $70 hairs. Was like a lot of people said that. To me, they were crazy. But I think the hype has grown on this. The 12-year is at a higher proof. I think it's like 107. And the 10-year batch 2 still is 97. But, look. Bourbon Bill wants both. For sure. And backups, if I can, of both of them. Most likely they're going to be, if I get a hold of those, they're going to be some of my top bottles of the year. They're for sure going to make top 10 of the year. I would almost guarantee it. All right, bottle number 11. Again, special bottle here also from my favorite distillery. And arguably, probably going to be the hardest to get. It's the Jack Daniel's 2023 special release. This happens to be a Coy Hill from 2021. If you watched my review of the 2022, we'll call it special release from Jack Daniel's, wasn't a fan, to be honest. I didn't really care for their single malt. I thought it was good, but they could have done better, for a special release. But this year they've already announced that the special release will be another twice barreled, but it's going to be a twice barreled rye at 100 proof. So It's interesting to me, they're kind of going full force into the ryes, right? They're doing barrel-proof, single-barrel ryes now as a shelfer. And then for their special release for this year, they're going to release a twice-barreled rye. So I'm pumped for that. I mean, double oak, the more flavor and the darker the color, Bourbon Bill likes it better. That's how we roll here generally, 95% of the time. So I'm really looking forward to that double oak rye, I'll tell you that. Very much so. So there you have it. That's 10 plus bonus. That's the best we could do. That's what I'm looking for this year. I'd love to hear what every one of you's looking for. If there's something, throw out something I missed. I'm sure there's something I missed that I should be getting my hands on if I can. So if you like what we saw tonight, please like, comment, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button. Thanks again, everybody. Have a good evening.